Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brenton Southwick, and my topic is on elder abuse. My intended audience is college students. Now, the term elder abuse is a single or repeated act or lack of appropriate action occurring with any relationship where there's an expectation of trust which causes harm or distress to an older person. Elder abuse can take various forms such as financial, physical, psychological, and sexual. And it can be the result of an intentional or unintentional neglect. This was as described by the World Health Organization. Now, my case that I chose was on Christina Alvarado. She was sentenced to prison for 5 years for siphoning more than $5 million from David Sonitzer, a 75-year-old widower. And this is her in the top right corner. This is her mugshot. Alvarado withdrew hundreds of thousands of dollars from his bank accounts. She cashed in his stocks and even sold his house. With the proceeds from her scheme, she bought herself and her daughter a house. She paid off another daughter's $150,000 student loan, and what she didn't buy, she gambled. And she agreed to pay back $5.5 million back in restitution. And according to Sonitzer's granddaughter, Heidi Plowman, she was mostly saddened by the fact that she sold their grandparents' house, which had her grandmother's things in it, had all of their mementos that she can't ever get back. And she was also saddened by Alvarado turned Solnitzer against his family, and she basically kept them from him. So she lost out on a lot of time with her grandfather. Now, the state crime victim rights services that I would offer this victim is first being the California Adult Protective Services, which can provide money management to assist the victim who was unable to manage his own income and protect them from future exploitation. Second being the Victim Compensation Program. Crime victims have a right to restitution against the defendant convicted of the crime that caused their losses. And the third being California Victim Compensation Board, which can help provide free counseling services, which is, in this case, extremely important for the victim because he didn't see the wrong that she was doing to him. He didn't see that she was taking thousands of dollars from him and even turning him against his own family. Some of the prevention efforts that are needed for elder abuse are: we need to advocate for better policies to acknowledge and address the problem of elder abuse because our laws and policies haven't kept up with our increasingly aging society. Some of these also include the need for mandated elder abuse training. For example, physicians in some states require child abuse training, but not elder abuse training. There needs to be better consumer protection for older people who have like a hearing loss or a vision loss. And the last one being the right to seek proper victim compensation. Tort reform in many states has left elder abuse victims unable to receive compensation for serious injuries, including physical abuse and sexual assault. And another area improvement would be in mandatory reporting. For example, in Florida, a mandatory reporter is any physician, health professional, nursing home staff, any bank or a credit union officer, and anyone that works with the state or county. And on the flip side, we have California, which describes a mandatory reporter as any person who has assumed full or intermittent responsibility for the care or custody of an elder or dependent adult, whether or not he or receives compensation, including administrators, supervisors, and any licensed staff of a public or private facility that provides care or services for elder or dependent adults. Now, this is really important because in the California definition, we include everyone, including people who are taken care of by family members. And versus on the flip side, we have Florida, which is like many states that private healthcare is not covered. They are not mandated to report. Some of the awareness efforts that we could include for college students will be organizations often give out free kits of posters, flyers, and brochures. You could go out on your campus into the heavily trafficked foot area, like for example, the dining hall, or even just like one of the front doors to a building, and you could put those up to increase awareness. I have a clip included here for this is essentially for bank employees to look out for what the signs of elder abuse are, and I think it'll really help our conversation and what to look for.
Watch out for the warning signs of potential abuse. Is an older person being escorted into the bank, directed to the teller, and requesting certain things? Does the elder look like they don't know the person they're with? Is the elder looking to their companion as if they're being controlled? Is the elder's companion doing all the talking? Is the elder requesting a money or a wire transfer because their loved one or grandchild was in a sudden accident or injured in another country? This could be what's commonly called the grandma scam. Is a 90-year-old buying a flashy new car? Did the senior citizen use their ATM card at an odd hour, like after midnight? If you see something, say something. Talk to a manager, a supervisor, or call the police.
And I have a question for the college students. What do you think could be done locally to increase awareness for elder abuse? The process of victim blaming has severe consequences for both the victim and society. If the victim feels or perceives that he or she will be blamed or condemned by other members of society, the victim may not file a report of the crime. He or she may not or may believe that the cost of reporting the crime is too high of a price to pay. Victims of certain crimes may also believe that reporting the offense may subject them to further victimization at the hands of the perpetrator. This is especially true when the elder is being taken care of by a family member. They don't think it's right that they send them to prison. And also, if the person is being taken care of by one individual and they don't have a family, so they think that if they report them and they go to prison, they won't have anyone to take care of them anymore and they'll be left out on their own. Some of the history or current statistics. Although we became aware of certain forms of family violence in the 1960s and 70s, it wasn't until the 1980s that the thought of elder victims entered our national consciousness as a problem that we must deal with. Approximately 1 in 10 Americans aged 60 plus have experienced some form of elder abuse. And one study estimated that only 1 in 14 cases of abuse are reported to authorities. And this is the most important issue with elder abuse, is that it's not reported enough. There's a projected increase in victimization. The 2010 census recorded the greatest number and proportion of people aged 65 and older in all of census history, 40.3 million, or 13% of the total population. And on 2050, the population age 65 and over is projected to be 83.7 million, almost double its estimated population of 43.1 million in 2012. This being that the more population that you'll have, the more victims, or the older population you have, the more elder victims you'll have. And in conclusion, elder abuse is an extremely important topic among victimization. And the case that I describe is a perfect example of how we're still addressing the growing issue of elder abuse. And if you have one takeaway from this presentation, it would be to check on your parents or your grandparents, check for any signs of abuse. And the second being, if you have a classmate that you often talk with or a friend, bring up elder abuse and how it could be addressed. Thank you.